Hello everybody, ToastBomb here today to give you guys an update on the game progress. Now unfortunately I'm not going to be able to show you guys, at least right now, what is going on with what I've been programming because there was an update with Unreal Engine since last time I tried recording, and I think that is what's screwing things up because whenever I try to record with Unreal Engine open, it just destroys the recordings and they get all screwed up and it doesn't work at all. So I'm going to try some things. I'm going to try to update some other things, drivers and stuff like that to see if that fixes it, but we might just have to wait for another engine update to come out to see if that fixes the problem, or I might just try to find another recording solution, which might not work out super great because the one I have right now doesn't use any hardware power. So if I use something like OBS, it takes a lot of hardware power, and then when I'm having Unreal Engine open, it takes up a lot of resources, so it ends up being really choppy. So we'll see what happens there. I'll try to figure something out for you guys, but at least for right now, we're going to take a look at the character rig that I've been working on, and is pretty much complete. So here's the character right now. Let's get a little bit more space here because we don't have a lot to work with. Okay, here we go. So here's the character, and all the geometry, at least right now, is being borrowed from something called MakeHuman. And MakeHuman is a open source, free open source software that gives you humans that are, you know, anatomically correct, and you can make some sliders to make them more muscular or whatever, like stuff like that. So I'm using that just to get like some sort of scale. This geometry is like way too complex for a video game. I mean, you could use it, but it's inefficient because I don't need the stuff in the ears. You can see how many polygons there are there. I don't need ears because you're gonna have a helmet on, so I don't need any of this stuff. There's stuff that can be optimized, like certain things on the chest, and like I don't need a belly button, like that type stuff. So there's gonna need to be things that need to be modified to make it a little more efficient, but for the most part that's kind of the geometry that we're gonna be working with. And I'm going for a pretty modular design, so instead of, you know, having the armor or whatever like a shoulder pad and just modeling that in right now, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna model all those pieces separately, so like the helmet and the shoulder pads or whatever, stuff like that. But then in the game engine, instead of it just being directly as part of the mesh, it's going to parent itself to certain bones. So for instance, you can't see it, but we have a shoulder bone here that's invisible, and if you parent the shoulder, or you parent the shoulder pad to the shoulder bone and keep its offset, then it will constantly stick right here and stay in reference with the shoulder bone. So you can make it stick and make it look like he has a shoulder pad there. And it allows you to have really modular design, so potentially in the future for customizable armor, I don't know if that'll happen, I can't say. Armor takes a long time to model and make it look good, but I can say, at least for now, that it's going to be a lot easier to do this way, the way I'm doing it, for at least the one set of armor that I'm planning on having. Anyways, let's get into the posing. So we gotta select the rig here, and go into pose mode. So MakeHuman does actually give itself rigs, and you can have different options for different rigs, but unfortunately all of them are too complex, or the ones that aren't too complex don't have things called IKs. So I just went ahead and made my own rig. It has some more things actually in it that the MakeHuman rig doesn't, which is really nice. Like I said, like the IKs. Now what IKs are, they're kind of hard to explain. It's just sort of like, it makes it so your character acts sort of more like you're just dragging around like some person's arm. Like say, you know, you have some random person laying on the ground and you're dragging around their arm. It makes it so posing works more like that, and less like you're just rotating the hinges on their joints. That's kind of normally what you're limited to, but with IKs it kind of works a little more naturally. So normally I would have to say be at this joint, and I would say, okay, you're gonna rotate 30 degrees. But now I can instead just take this hand IK and I can just drag it around like this, and you can see the shoulder automatically reacts and automatically changes. Normally that wouldn't happen. I'd be limited to just rotating this like wrist, and then I'd have to move the hand, and depending on the parent, the elbow would update, but the shoulder wouldn't update, and it's just not nearly as natural or good. But with this, I can really easily, just rotate this, move this over here, get that right there, move it up, rotate like that, and then we kind of almost have like almost like a gun position right there. It's kind of crappy, but I mean, you can see where we could go with this and how powerful that really is. And then also, there's also shoulder IK, and you'll notice whenever I'm moving this up and down, the shoulder's constantly pointing towards this thing right here. And that's also really powerful because I can do this and move this around and really easily position where the elbow is. So I think I said shoulder IK. I meant elbow IK if I said shoulder IK. So we can really easily position where this is, and it can just insanely powerful and just makes it so much easier to do a lot of this stuff. There's also similar things for the feet, and there's one other thing I want to show you guys with the feet, which is really awesome. So I can move that around and have it work similar to the arm, and then also I can have these and have the knee point in all directions, which makes it really nice and really easy to do some of this stuff. Also, we have this handy dandy thing right here, which is like this foot roll feature, where if I drag, if I drag this back, get a little more natural position here. If I drag this back, you can see that you could really easily create a walking animation where you land on the heel and then you roll off onto the toe. And that just makes stuff way easier and way quicker than if you didn't have this. And it creates consistent and really easy animation that still looks really good. So that is what is up with the character model for the game. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys what's up with the programming. We'll try to figure out what's going on. We might just have to wait for another Unreal Engine update to happen. We will see. But at least for now, that is what's happening. So anyways, if you guys want to leave any suggestions for the game, I know you didn't see it, but if you want to watch a previous video and kind of get an idea for what the game is, then leave that down in the comments. You can leave little suggestions or whatever you want. So anyways, that'll be it for this one. If you liked the video, you can leave a like or a comment, or you can subscribe. But anyways, see you later. Bye.